If you think that taming your blade is something difficult, try to tame yourself, try to tame your emotions, and you'll see an activity that will take you lifetimes to endure. How you doing, guys? Professor EDC with another BLADE-OSOPHY Sunday. And what we have here, what are we talking about? We're talking about taming ourselves, taming emotions. And I thought it matches with the topic of taming or mastering the use of a blade. Now we have right here on the table a very primitive table, different types of blades, and they each cut differently. They each have different constructions, strengths and weaknesses, and so but each one of them took some taming to do. And I've been going over certain points of view, certain philosophical ideas, and man, the more I learn, and this is absolutely true, don't get me wrong, but the more I learn, the more I see how ignorant I am and how much I still have to learn ahead. Each one of these blades is different. Each one requires time to be spent on. Each time has a different break-in period, right? Each one. Each one has its own qualities, its own strengths. But that's something that takes time to learn. That is just something that takes time, and not only time, but there has to be a conscious effort. And so I remember stories from medieval times, from other times, where a warrior would have to tame its blade, or tame his or her blade. Well, those stories were mostly about knights and the like, so it was mostly men. So they had to tame, in many cases, their blade, right? And that taming was also, very interestingly, part of building character, of taming their own minds, personalities. Each one of those wonderful blades had different qualities, and those needed to be tamed together with the characteristics of the knight or of the warrior. And so it seemed like the sword and the knight or the sword and its owner were not separate, were not a separate thing, but rather became one when fighting. Those are the type of stories I like to read, amongst other things. But this day and age, where everything is so fast, where we think that we are like in a sci-fi movie, you know, people think like you can connect your brain to a computer, much like in the Matrix, and you learn automatically skills that you have never had before, skills that take years in the making. And now we just want everything immediately. There's no growth, there's no evolution, there's no maturing. And yet, I believe that mastering the mind, mastering emotions, is one of the reasons, one of the most important reasons that we are here for. And it is much like our blades, isn't it? I mean, there are blades that serve us better for an EDC purpose. They're a bit more flashy, right? That they may catch our attention and that serve their purpose. There are blades that are more practical and perhaps even more tactical, or a mix of both, that cut differently, that are made different in one way or another. And so are our emotions: anger, sadness, desperation, excitement, happiness. Blades that are made for the outdoors, for the woods. Such a fine blade. But if we don't learn how to sharpen it, if we don't learn how to use it, it's just a piece of metal, right? They're just flashy pieces of metal or titanium or whatever. So that's where learning comes in. That's where education matters. That's where mastering comes into play. Mastering our emotions, mastering our blades, blades that are made for hunting, or more specifically for hunting, or for an everyday use, for tactical reasons. Blades that are versatile enough for just any type of situation. Pocket knives that are more adequate for nowadays. And so all of these emotions, excitement, the positive and the negative emotions, are to be tamed. And not only the negative ones, but also the positive ones. Because in the end, this too shall pass. And so it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative or neutral, it shall all pass, and we will have to learn how to deal with that loss or that gain. Taming our blades and taming our emotions. What an exciting path. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Have a great week ahead. Professor UDC out.